the crash, and they do believe that drinking and driving was involved.
A motor revs, tires screech, and then the crash. These are the sounds all too familiar to one family in Caledonia. They are living in fear, and engineers are scratching their heads. They want to know, why is this happening? Our Jenna Sachs has the story of a family living in one of the most dangerous spots in Racine County.
Few would consider this country house in Caledonia a destination. Up to 6,000 drivers pass by its front door every day. So when the unexpected driver does end up here,
it's like a cannon going off. It's that loud.
It's usually because the driver crashed.
Yeah, this is Thunder Alley.
In the last 20 years, Mark Laufenberg says 18 cars have plowed onto his property.
Well, the majority of them go down the driveway and hit the sheds. 3
of those accidents this year alone.
Try not to dwell on it too much.
A closer look at the Laufenberg's house at the intersection of County Roads G and H reveals its barricades, the guardrail, cement blocks, and fieldstone porch Laufenberg built himself after a car driven by a Boy Scout leader crashed into the old wooden porch.
We had a white picket fence, little post.
Out-of-control drivers have knocked down his trees, damaged his car, even killed the family cats.
The driver kind of made a little snide joke about it. They're just a couple farm cats.
We first met Laufenberg and his wife Sherry back on September 17th when a driver crashed through their guardrail.
That's where it ended up.
That driver was arrested for his 5th OWI. His arrest, just the latest in a string of incidents, has left Laufenberg feeling uneasy at night.
Anywhere from 11 to 2 o'clock in the morning, you can kind of anticipate it.
Caledonia police are familiar with the house and its perpetual problems.
If I lived there, if there wasn't a guardrail there, I don't think I could sleep at night.
Lieutenant Gary Larson recalls responding to one incident where a drunk driver barreled into a pile of firewood.
We had to get the driver out by moving all the firewood out of the way.
After reviewing police reports, Lieutenant Larson says since 2007, there have been 15 accidents at the intersection of G and H.
This drunk driver was transported for his injuries.
At least 4 of those drivers crashed onto the Laufenberg's property.
He hit the guardrail.
And at least 3 were OWIs.
The only thing that you could reasonably do is move the house or move the intersection.
Rumble strips were added to County Road G in 2001 as part of Racine County's attempt to slow down drivers approaching the Laufenberg's house.
Our engineers have studied this intersection and we have done various safety improvements.
The Director of Public Works, Julie Anderson, says it also added a dedicated turn lane and in 2009 a blinking LED stop sign that can be seen from a mile away. Anderson insists there's no design problem.
And this is one of our intersections that we think we've done just about as much as we can do.
In short, engineers are befuddled.
This is a very typical intersection that we have in Racine County.
Laufenberg wants the speed limit lowered and even more signs. But he admits those changes may not solve the real issue here.
Drinking and driving, you know, being stupid about it.
Yet there is one other possibility.
Basically just waiting on the neighbors.
Laufenberg has asked his next-door neighbor to sell or trade a sliver of land so he can move his driveway. Right now the driveway lines up perfectly with oncoming traffic on G.
So we can move our driveway to the north and they could put a double guardrail across our old driveway.
In the meantime, his family has no plans to leave, though their home sits on one of the most dangerous spots in Racine County.
It's a nice place to live. It's just accidents.
And at this time, Laufenberg's neighbor has refused to sell him any land, and we're told that it is possible when Highway 38 is redone in a few years, this intersection could be redesigned as a part of that project. It's even possible the house could be bought out, but right now it sounds like the family just does not have a lot of options.
You and I were talking about this, and you told me they live at the top of a T intersection, which I thought, oh, that's got to be it. But you say that's common.
They tell me there are several T intersections throughout Racine Common. It's very common, and they don't know why this house has problems when other houses in very similar circumstances don't have any problems. So the engineers can't really figure it out, and they feel like they've done everything they can.
I'm amazed they can sleep at night.
Thank you,
sometimes
Jenna.
they can't.
Same thing, right? Well, we know why. Thanks.
Well, you know what they say.